Hello, everyone. Welcome back to class as we go deeper into this course on graphic design. Today our discussions will be on the elements and principles of graphic design. By the end of this class, students should understand the elements of design, understand the principles of design, see designs like professional designers. Graphic design is not just about making things look beautiful. It is about communicating visually. Designers use certain building blocks and rules to create effective designs. These building blocks are called elements of design, and the rules for arranging them are called principles of design.
Think of it this way.
Elements equals ingredients. Principles equals recipe. Without ingredients, you cannot cook food, and without a recipe, the food may not taste good. The same applies to design. Before we dive into the topic today, I want you to imagine something. Think about your favorite food. Maybe rice, pizza, shawarma, or jollof rice. Now, imagine cooking that food without ingredients. Impossible, right? That is exactly what design is like. Designers don't just open software like CorelDRAW or Illustrator and start dragging things around randomly. They use specific building blocks called elements of design. But even with ingredients, you still need a method to combine them properly. That method is what we call principles of design. So today we are going to learn the ingredients and the recipe of graphic design. Let's delve right into it. Elements of design. Elements are the basic visual components used to create any design. Number 1. Let's start with line. A line is the most basic element of design. It is a path created by a moving point. Lines can be straight. Lines help designers to separate content, guide the viewer's eyes, create structure, create shapes and patterns. For example, underlines in text, dividers on websites, borders in posters. Lines are actually the design. Number 2 is shape. Shapes are created when lines connect to form a closed area. There are 3 main types of shapes. Geometric shapes, squares, circles, triangles. Organic shapes, natural shapes found in nature like leaves, clouds, water shapes. Abstract shapes, simplified versions of real-world objects. Shapes are important in logos, icons, illustrations, layout structure.
S.
When you look at famous logos, you will notice that shapes play a big role. For example, circles often communicate unity, community, and friendliness. Squares communicate stability and reliability. Triangles can communicate direction, movement, or innovation. This is why companies carefully choose shapes. Shapes are not random. They communicate meaning. Number 3 is color. Color is one of the most powerful elements in design. Color can attract attention, communicate emotions, represent brand identity. Color has 3 major properties. Hue, the actual color, red, blue, green. Saturation, the intensity of the color. Value, how light or dark the color is. Color is extremely powerful in design. Before you even read text on a poster, the color already gives you a feeling. Red can communicate energy, urgency, or passion. Blue often communicates trust and professionalism. Green is commonly associated with nature, growth, and health. That is why banks often use blue colors. They want customers to feel safe and trust them. Number 4 is texture. Texture refers to how a surface looks or feels. In digital design, texture creates the illusion of touch. Examples include
Rough, smooth,
grainy.
glossy.
Texture helps designs feel more realistic and interesting. If every design used only flat colors, design would become very boring. Texture adds personality and realism. For example, texture in a design feel natural and warm. A metallic texture can make something feel modern and futuristic. Even though we are looking at a screen, texture tricks our brain into feeling the surface. Number 5 is space. Space refers to the empty area around design elements. There are 2 types. Positive space. the area occupied by objects. Negative space, the empty area around objects. Good use of space improves readability and focus. Many beginner designers make one big mistake. They try to fill every space. But professional designers understand something important. Empty space is powerful. Empty space helps the viewer focus. Space is powerful. Empty space helps the viewer focus. It also makes designs look clean, modern, and professional. So remember this. Empty space is not wasted space. It is part of the design. Now, let's then understand the principles that guide how we use these elements in graphic design. Number 1 is balance. Balance is the distribution of visual weight. Types of balance. Symmetrical balance. Both sides look equal. Asymmetrical balance. Different elements create balance. Radial balance. Elements arranged around a center point. Balance in design works like balance in real life. If you carry a heavy bag on only one shoulder, your body becomes uncomfortable. But if the weight is balanced, you feel stable. Design works the same way. If one part of the design is too heavy visually, the layout feels uncomfortable. Number 2 principle is contrast. Contrast means creating difference between elements. This can be done using
color, size, shape,
typography. Contrast helps important information stand out. Imagine reading a poster where everything is the same size, same color, and same style. You wouldn't know where to look first. Contrast attention. Big headlines, bright colors, or bold fonts help guide the view. Number 3 is emphasis. Emphasis is about creating a focal point. It shows viewers what they should notice first. This can be done using larger size, bold color, unique shape, positioning. Every good design has a star, something that stands out the most. When someone sees your design, their eyes should immediately know where to look first. That is emphasis. Without emphasis, a design becomes confusing. Number 4 is rhythm or repetition. Rhythm in design means repeating elements to create movement and flow. Examples: repeating shapes, repeating colors, repeating pattern. Rhythm in design is similar to rhythm in music. Music has repeating beats that create a pattern. Design can also repeat shapes, colors, or lines to guide the viewer's eyes smoothly through the layout. Number 5 is unity. Unity means all elements of the design work together as one complete composition. A design with unity feels organized and harmonious. A design should not feel like random pieces placed together. Everything should feel connected. The colors, typography, images, and layout should all work together to communicate one message. Number 6 is pattern. In their natural forms, patterns express themselves everywhere we look. From consistencies in situations to the way, nature creates beautiful mosaics on the sand and barks of trees. This principle of design is called a pattern, and it helps keep the consistency of movement, repetition, and rhythm to create a lasting impact on customers who encounter your product. Unlike natural patterns, geometric patterns are also popular among designers. Using patterns gives your brand the edge to use. Number 7 is hierarchy. We touched upon the importance of movement. But what drives a person's attention when they see your design? Hierarchy is essential and least significant aspects with the help of typography, color, contrast, images. Number 8 is grid and alignment. Grids provide the underlying framework that brings order and consistency to design. They organize space, create proportional relationships, and ensure that elements are intentionally spaced. Alignment guides the eye through a design, allowing viewers to make sense of even the most complex composition. Designers who have mastered grid systems and alignment sometimes break away from these structures to create emphasis and energy. So today we learned something very important. Every design you see, posters, websites, logos, billboards, is built using elements and principles of design. Elements are the building blocks. Principles are the rules that organize them. If you master these two things, you are no longer just someone using design software. You begin to think like a real design. What that make up graphic design. See you all in next class.
what elements of graphic design is, and also in the video you just watched now. So now we're talking a lot more on that, and we'll be practicalizing on it so that we can actually understand what these principles and elements means. So this is our line. You can see this is the use of line. This is a line here, and we talked about line as part of the elements of graphic design. So now, if you can see very well, we use this line to also demarcate, or to create, for us to create just a simple division. I could have just enhanced it like this, but you see what it will also cost too. It will be too much. So using things too much to can cause a problem. But depending on whatever information or whatever appeal you want to make now, so I will reduce it back. Control Z appeal you want to make now. So I will reduce it back. Control Z now. I will reduce it back. So now we also have the same line. We also have it here. We use it also to divide from the order now to the phone number. I could have applied some other thing here, icon, which will be the icon of a phone call, but I don't want to go into details for that yet, because those one will require and assets in graphic design. We call them assets in graphic design. Which can be images, icons, a lot. So those are assets now. So now this one is line. I use this line to create a division from the order now. Call this number 57356432222. Do you understand now? So now we want to go to another shape now, as in another element now. We also have shape in elements of graphic design now. We also have shape. So now how many shape can you figure out here now? You can figure out the circle shape. Imagine the circle shape now. We have a circle shape. We also have a curved rectangular shape. This is the shape here. It is in white, right? It is in white. And we also have just a little of the shape here too. Just a little of the shape here. This is a little of the shape. So now, how many shape now can you count now? We've been able to count at least 1, 2, 3 shape. If not, we can say 2 shape, because the other one looks like a repetition, but not so a repetition. We can still call it another shape because it is not long like this one here, right? So now we talk about color. So now, how many color can we see? We'll see this red here. This red here, it is a dark red now. It is a dark red, just a little bit of black in it. In our color theory, we would understand all that. So now we also have the same color on the special and the Valentine's Day. We also have the same color on air and beauty, but here we have different color, or whatever smoothness you want to achieve, clarity you want to achieve. You don't want too much of color. You want the design to be simple as simplest form, for people to just read and understand what is going on. You are able to communicate in that manner. Simplicity in design is just the beauty of design. If you have a lot of design, a lot of stuff going on, the design will become too unbalanced. The design will become too heavy. Are you with me, guys? So now we've been able to talk about color, and we also mention color. Now color also reflects on the background, just a little tint of this same color, a little tint, and this is gradient color. We call it gradient now because I apply a gradient feel color to the background just to make it a little tinted reddish color, to have both the white and the red color, for them to look nice, for them to be appealing, for them to communicate, for them to look clean and clear. See, design is all about clarity and the cleanliness you are able to give it to. You don't want to be too, too rugged with everything. So it's good to just be in the part that you want to make sure that you are able to communicate as simple, in the most simplest form, right? So now we are moving forward. Now we will go into space now as elements of graphic design. Now we have space. So how many space can you see? These are what is called space. Here there is a space, here space, space, space everywhere, and that makes the design beautiful. Imagine if there's no space in this design. Let's say I have it like this. Everything is big. I have this here. I have this here. Big. I have this here. You see some designs like this. These are the most difficult design for you to have encountered, because now there is no space management here. All the space are being used just to, I don't know, the kind of communication they are trying to communicate. Maybe they want a bolder font. If they want a bolder font, they could have used a more vivid font, but a breathing space, a breathing moment where all the text will breathe, will talk, would achieve whatever form or whatever beauty they have. So this is the most important thing. Space is very, very crucial in design. You don't want all your design to be filled up, you understand, on the basis of you want everything big and all that. No, you want to make sure that you are able to retain maximum space. Now I'm not saying you should make all the text as little or no, but make sure that you breathe all the text, that breathe all the elements all together. So that is that. So now we'll be talking about typography. So now this is typography here, and we definitely communicate whatever information we want to tell the people, we want to tell our clients, we want to tell our customers. If I have no Valentine's Day, if I have no special, if I have no enjoy, if I have no 25%, if I have no this, if I have no phone call, then I just, and we have only the shape, we have the circle shape and this image here, then what are we communicating? There is nothing. When it's not an art, there is nothing. So this is also what differentiates arts from graphic design, because graphic design is about communicating a specific message to your audience. Now let's go back now. So you now see, now we are able to communicate the message. So the communication is Valentine's Day special. Enjoy 25% off on all your hair and beauty products. Order now. 57 blah 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 blah. Call this number. That is it. You've communicated. You've passed your message across in a distinctive way, in a clearer way, in the most beautiful way. You are able to communicate. So now we're moving forward now. So now let's say typography now. the typography choice I use here now is Ares. I don't know if it's right. Ares. That is the type of typography I use on being called Ares. So now I use Ares. You know why? Because number one, it is thin a little bit. It is thin. It communicates luxury. It communicates luxury. It communicates something beautiful. It communicates events. It is eventful. It is I don't know how I will call it. Maybe something that looks like a wine that you want to drink. You understand? It is slim, it is thin, and it is very smooth. So that is why I use that particular type. So now, I also special now. You see on special now, if I had used the same RS for special, you see what it will look like. Let's This is the font here. Let's say we have it now. You see what it that's just caused now. We'll go deeper in that, you will understand now. So this now, it's actually still go, but not 100% fitting, and that is where typography pairing comes in now. So we want to do this Valentine's Day in an effective manner. It's what we call contrast. I'll go back. Contrast. That is what is called contrast, but I will not talk more on that now when we contrast. So I use special for it to be able to tag along with Valentine's Day special in the most brilliant way. You understand? Special, and it is cursive, it is like a script font. It definitely goes with the word special. You understand? Then enjoy word special. You understand? Then enjoy. In this enjoy now, I make use of the normal area rounded empty bold. I use that because I want to achieve this curvy, for you to have a feel of taste, a feel of something that is bouncing. You understand? Analyze text. You think 25% off to this. They are engaging. Sure, you get now. So then this enjoy, instead of changing another font, I just use the same rounded area rounded empty bold for the other now to attain a little bit of text usage. At times, when you're designing, you have to consider the amount of typography you put in your design. You don't have to use maximum of 5 or 4. If you are able to use 3 wisely, 3 is a good to go. But if you want to still add, maximum is 4. So right now, I've been able to have Valentine's Day 1, special 2, 3, and 4. I've been able to have 4 in a most brilliant manner, that I've been able to use it to communicate brilliantly, to make sure this design is looking beautiful and is not looking too rough. You understand now? So we talk about texture, right? If you observe very well, you will see that there are some places that has a texture. So this is what texture do now. So texture give your design a little bit of feel. Now look at this circle here right now. This circle here right now. This wasn't there. I pasted it, and this is what is called texture. I just applied texture here. This is texture. And what did I do? This is texture effect. Texture is another graphic design asset. that will download and we use in our design for it to have a little bit of originality. So texture, and this texture look like something that is like a sticker, something that is gummed into something. That is at times you have to analyze whatever design placement or whatever texture you want to use in a design. You analyze it. What is the communication of this texture? What does this texture really mean? If you are able to ask yourself those questions, you'll be able to understand this one actually communicates something glued, something you can gum, something like a sticker, round sticker. So this same round sticker is being dropped on the circle here to illustrate it is gum, it is placed on this advert, on this poster, on this flyer. And I also use texture here to give it also another feel. You understand? The same texture on the 50% off is also here too, just to give it a little bit of feel and originality. You can see another texture here too, right? Exactly. So now, and we also have another shape here, right? This is another shape. So, and this shape is being doubled, which is called repetition, to also make a pattern. So now we are able to talk about elements of graphic designer. So now we are going into the principle. I have all the elements being laid, and by laying these elements, I've been able to apply the principles of graphic design effectively. That is why it is looking like this. If it's not being effective, it won't look like this. So now we want to go to balance. So you see here now a distribution of equal visual weights. So you can see everything in this design now. They are looking more like equal, something simple, something light. Everything is looking equal, right? And now we'll go to alignments. Alignment is also key, and arrangements forming a straight line. Alignment could be used on your shape, on your text, on everything that involves your design. So now I've been able to make use of alignments properly. Let's say I'm designing, I place my special here now, right? Would it have made sense for me to have placed the special here or here? No, because there is no communication and there is no even engagement. But instead, I place it here, Valentine's Day special. So now on the special, I try to align it to the day for it to look pleasing, for it to look right when you are viewing it. At times when we view things, what we view are the principles and the elements, especially the principles of the design that is catching our eyes that we do not know. These are the principles of the design that is catching, that is attracting our eyes, because it leads our eyes, it guides our eyes into the visual communication. So now, also the same alignment has been used on the circle here, making sure that it's aligned properly to the circle, to the special, and to the Valentine's Day. Everything is aligned. And this kind of alignment is called the center alignment. They are all in the center position. If I had done it like this, that would be in the left alignment, but I didn't use left alignment. Now the most fitting position now here is center alignment. Let me go back. The same center alignment as we use on the off, the 25% off, and also have been used between the off together, 25% off, into the circle. You see nothing is shifting into the circle. If I had have it like this, it won't look great, of course. So I have disrupted the alignment there, and it will not look great when you are viewing it. You see, that's the job of alignment. You make sure all your elements are well aligned. To the circle is aligned to the circle, is also aligned to enjoy. Circle is aligned to enjoy. Enjoy is aligned to 5% off, and the all together they all align to special Valentine's Day too. That is the alignment for you. To the line being used on all your air, and don't make use of this alignment here now. The left would have looked like this, but let's view it out. Depending on how well you want it to look like, it's your choice. If you want it left, if you want it right, it's your choice, you understand. But if by making it centered alignment is what is right for you, that you want it to, have the visual flow, have the movement, and that is where movement comes in. Here, movement now, you see. So to the order now is aligned to the circle. The line here is also aligned to the number and the circle, and there's a good proportion between each of the texts and the shape, right? So that is what alignment can do. And also this shape here also properly aligned to this shape. So that is alignment for you. So now I want to go to the second one, unity, harmonious arrangement of elements. So we have been able to have a maximum amount of unity in the design, since we do not have a lot of circle or a lot of stuff going on. If I had have it like this, have another circle like this, let's say in another design, they have to be unity. They don't have to be one having this other one being too close to this. Why there is another opening, there won't be a lot of unity there. But in this sense, we do not really have a lot to do when it comes to unity, but the unity still serve in the overall design that makes everything look great and appealing in the eyes. So now we talked about emphasis. Now, how many emphasis do you think we have? So number one, we talk about the emphasis, which is Valentine's Day. It is the normal emphasis, but like the headline also for the communication message, call it headline or the heading. Valentine's Day special. Enjoy 25% off. This 25% off now here is also an emphasis. I could have make it the same amount of points here. You see what it has cost now. 25% off. You see, there is no boldness, there is no something that is talking, that is communicating, that is reaching out to you, that hey, this is me, check me out, look at me, I'm here, stuff like that. That is what that does. So now let's go back and see the difference. Ctrl Z now. So now instead we make this bigger than this off. By making it bigger makes sense than this off, because it's also the right information that we are passing. 25% off, which is the right word, which is the word that we are trying to communicate, that hello there, we have a special deals coming off. It is 25% discounts in all our products, so purchase now. This 25% emphasis. So now we also have emphasis in hair and beauty. It could have been, they could have go along with the same points, the same text points or font size rather. Well, you see, instead I make use of the emphasis on hair and beauty products. So the emphasis is on hair and beauty. Hair, hair and beauty. So now we are moving forward now. So now we talk about contrast. You see, contrast now. If contrast now shows, this is what we are seeing here now. We have contrast in this design. If there is no contrast, you won't see the colorfulness of the beauty of this design. So now let's say we do not have this. Now let's remove this. We have only this 25% off special Valentine's Day, this, and let's say there is no circle here. You see what this has cost now. This looks great, a little bit, just a little bit. It looks great, but just a little bit. But we want to enhance it. We want to apply some contrasting colors to it, some contrasting elements to it, to make it pop out, to make it vivid, to make it more visible. So that is where the contrast come in. So the contrast we applied was, instead of leaving it empty, applying everything to be one color, there is a contrasting option here, which is the circle in red form, to pop the 25% off in white. So it has created a contrast between, it has created a contact in the eye. So when you look at this flyer now, what catch your eyes is, number one, let's say the Valentine's Day special. Then the number two, you even see the 25% off to the hair and beauty. We've also applied some contrast, and also Valentine's Day special color is also a contrast that we've been able to use. So contrast comes in different form, comes in color, comes in typography, also comes in size, in the type size that you use. So you see, when I said the